So this has got fractions. Let me write it out over here bigger for us. 1/4 x minus 1/10 equals minus 2/5. Okay. I'm going to put in the wall of separation, left side, right side. Okay. So now this is just the beginning of our fraction ones. These are tougher. What do we do when it has fractions? So let me write it out for you over here. So when there's fractions with an equal sign, what do we do? Step number one, you multiply every term on the left and right by the LCD over 1. And what is the LCD? All denominator, or let me put it this way, one of each denominator type multiplied together. There we go. So, okay. So as I look at fractions and specifically denominators, right? So as you look at this, you think, oh no, we got fractions and we have an equal sign. That's a key part of it. Let me circle that. Right, it's fractions with an equal sign, meaning an equation, a left side or right side. So when you have fractions with an equation, with an equal sign, what do you do about it? You multiply every term, left and right, by the LCD over 1. And what is the LCD? One of each denominator type multiplied together. So I'm going to grab the 4, the 10, and the 5 and multiply those all together. Now you might look at 4, 10, and 5 and know some more advanced information. Like you might look at them and go, oh, 4, 10, and 5. I know that the LCD is just 20. They all go into 20. You're right. And if you know that, more power to you. That'll work actually even better. That'll make it easier and nicer. So if you know that, great. I'm not going to mess with that because I've just found that's hard for students to have another step. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to go 4 times, whoops. Oh boy, I hit a wrong button. There we go. There we go. 4 times 5. And then that, again, that's not 4.5. That's 4 times 5, or 4 times 10. Let me try again. 4 times 10 times 5 over 1. See how that's this guy, and this guy, 4, 10, and 5, all put together? You see what I'm doing? Same thing here. 4, 10, and 5 over 1. And same thing here. 4, 10, and 5 over 1. Are you tracking? Are you seeing what I'm doing? As they say in the South, are you smelling what I'm stepping in? I love that saying. Are you tracking with me close enough that you're seeing? See what I did? I just did LCD over 1. Right, LCD over 1. I did it here, here, here. All the terms left and right. Because we have an equation. We have an equal sign. So we know that whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other to keep them equal, right? So what are we multiplying every term by? The LCD over 1. What's the LCD? All 3 denominators put together. 4, 10, 5. So you put 4, 10, 5 over 1. 4, 10, 5 over 1. 4, 10, 5 over 1. Okay, and then step number 2. Cross cancel and multiply the leftovers. Well, let me say cross cancel the denoms. Cross cancel the denominators and multiply what is left over. So here we go. 4 and 4. Those cross cancel. What's left over? 10 times 5 and x, which is 50x. minus, bring down that minus sign. Did you see that first step? See how I cross canceled the denominators and I multiplied the leftovers. So the 4 canceled the 4, cross cancel, multiply what's left over, 10 times 5 times x, 50x, minus, let's do it again, cross cancel, 10, 10, we're cross canceling the denominators, huh? What's left over? 4 times 5, and then a couple of ones, but ones don't do anything, 20. I mean, you can go times 1, 20 times 1 is still just 20. Divided by 1 is still just 20. Everybody see that? I cross canceled the denominators. That's why I'm doing this, because I want to get rid of denominators. I don't want fractions anymore. That's that. And do you see why we're using we're using all 3 denominators, I should say. We're using all 3 denominators in the top 4, 10, 5, because that way we'll cancel out all 3 denominators. That's the whole purpose, right? The 10s cancel, cross cancel. What's left over? 4 times 5, 20. So you cross cancel denominators, multiply leftovers. Same thing over here. 5 and 5 cancel. What's left over? 2, 4, 10. What's that? 2 times 4 is 8, times 10 is 80, and it's negative. Don't forget that negative sign. And the 1 doesn't do anything. Much nicer, right? Much easier now. We got rid of all the fractions. There's no fractions because we cross-canceled all the denominators. Okay, so let me pause there. After this, it's a piece of cake, right? You've done a million of these, and I will finish it, but it's the big step is those first 2 steps. The big 2 steps are those first 2 steps, right? So again, what do you do when you've got fractions with an equal sign? An equal sign. What do you do? Well, you do the same thing to the left and the right. So Joey do with an equal sign. What do? You take all 3 denominators, and you put them in the top. 4, 10, 5 over 1. 4, 10, 5 over 1. 4, 10, 5 over 1. And the reason you use all 3 is because you want to cancel out all 3. So then you go back and you cross cancel the denominator and multiply leftover. 10 times 5, x, 50x. Cross cancel 10 and 10. 4 times 5, 20. Cross cancel 5 and 5. 2 times 4 is 8. Times 10 is 80. And don't forget the signs. All right. You know how to finish it from here, right? Let's do it. Now X is saying, I want to be alone. I want to be alone. So add the 20. Boom, boom. Okay. Bring this down. 50x. What's that? Minus 60. Just add these on your calculator. You know, if you lose 80 bucks and you gain back 20, you lost 60. Last step is divide. Remember, the last step is always to divide by identically whatever's next to x. You know that. X is alone. How do you reduce this? Divide by 10, top and bottom, right? You just reduce that fraction. Minus 6/5. Done. There we go.